Welcome back to the biggest entertainment show on the land. It is Teen Republic right here on NTV, coming at you every single Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And let me tell you, I am so extremely starstruck. My goodness. Let me tell you, if there's a lady that I absolutely respect in the Kenyan music industry, it has got to be the lady who's in studio right about now. She needs no introduction. She is global. Not only is she big in the 254, she's big in Nigeria, she's big in South Africa, she's big all over the continent and beyond. I'm talking about the also amazing, very beautiful, very drop-dead gorgeous, always so fashionable Victoria Kimani.
Oh my God, thank you.
You look so gorgeous, first of all. Let's just start there.
Thank you so much. That was such a beautiful introduction. Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Sana. It's always so good when you're on Instagram and we tend to look at your Instagram, not on an Insta story. You're at home. You're in the 254. We feel so good.
I love that. Thank you.
And I love your Instagram a lot. I'm usually fangirling because of how your style is amazing.
Thank you.
Who dresses you, first of all? Do you do it yourself?
I do dress myself. I do work with, designers here and there. For the most part, I dress myself. Yeah, I got it from my mom. From my mama. My mom is very fashionable, so I'd say I get most of the fashion inspo from her, most likely. Yeah.
And it feels like your family has really influenced the kind of person that you are. From getting your fashion from your mom, music from your dad, because he used to sing Elvis Presley covers.
Yeah, he did.
In the 70s. He was quite the rock star. And you find both your brothers were actually rapping.
Yeah.
The Bamboo, Kimya. And let me know how your childhood was like, because you spoke about a particular story being in Benin and how that was musically oriented in your household. Take me through that story.
Oh my goodness. It was so interesting. Growing up, for the most part, we grew up in church. So, of course, my parents are pastors.
Yeah.
And so Dad did used to sing and play the guitar all around Nairobi back in the day. And then he started doing music in church as well. So, honestly, we were just very musical in the home. Dad would play guitar. We would sing. And then one point, he just bought me a keyboard. And then I learned how to play my own keyboard. And then eventually I started recording myself with like a tape recorder. It was so funny. I'd be in the closet with my tape recorder and just writing poems and trying to make melodies and sing. And I would say until I got 16, that was my first time in the studio. But honestly, it's like kind of trying to make a long story short. There's always been music around. Me and my two brothers were separated for about 7 years. I was still in the States. They came back here early. And he started K-South with the Bass, which was so inspirational for me, because it's like, wow, we were both raised in the States, or born pretty much in the States. And then he came back and brought that swag from the States, but then he had like the street, the shang at the same time.
Swag.
And it was just iconic. It was very inspiring for me, because I felt like, how can we mix the two cultures where we were born and then our actual ethnicity? And so, yeah, it was inspiring watching him come up and, yeah, to make a long story short.
You used to talk about growing up in Benin in Nigeria, and the lights used to go off, and that's just like an African thing. Now, take me through how music influenced that part of your life. Now being where the lights go off and everyone is singing, which role did you play? Which role did your brothers play? Your dad, your mom?
That was so crazy. So we went on a mission trip to Benin City, Nigeria, which is like a tiny town, like outside of, in the outskirts somewhere. And yeah, the electricity was always going off, which I'm sure they still have those issues now, but we didn't have a generator, right? So yes, the lights would be off, we'd light the candles, and then Dad would play the guitar, and honestly, Bamboo, his name is Timothy, right? He would play the guitar. The other brother would play the guitar as well. And then I would sing. We would all sing, really. But mainly it was me and my dad singing, and then they would play the guitar. So yeah, we would just vibe, and because there's nothing else to do. The lights are off. What can you do? Like, let's just make music. So yeah, and at some point we started like singing around some churches around Benin. And I remember joining the choir at one point. Yeah, very briefly though. Very briefly.
Yeah, and you've basically lived at different places, or rather in different places across the globe, from living in Nigeria, living in Atlanta, in New York, you've been in the 254 in Kenya, and I believe you've witnessed, or rather been able to experience different cultures. You spoke about even doing music before you even came in, you came back to Kenya. You were doing music in the US for a while. Take me through those different cultures and how they shape the kind of music that you actually do.
Great question. Honestly, it was weird. Like when I first started, like first began professionally, you know, as a performer, I was singing backup for Mercy Myra when I was 16 here in Kenya. And then when I went back to the States, I was around 18. And I started writing songs. Like, so my entry into the music industry was as a songwriter, which was good practice because I learned how, you know, the elements of a hit song. They were asking us to write songs for everyone from Britney Spears to whoever. And I understood the structure of what a hit song is and how, you know, it needs to be simple, it needs to be clear, it needs to be catchy, like all those things. But at some point I started hating it because I felt like, why am I giving my music that I wrote to other artists? So at some point I was like, you know, this is not for me to do like full time, even though it's something I can do. I would like to still release my own music. And so to make a long story short, oh my God, my career, I'm trying to like summarize everything, it's crazy. So my God, I ended up being a part of a duo, which was called Club Embassy. That was like my first ever mixtape. We were signed to Ron Artest, who was on the Lakers at the time. And
he was a sportsman, now a sportsman handling music.
Yeah, I know. It was so weird, but you know, you'd be surprised. A lot of athletes want to invest in music, whether they want to be artists themselves or, you know, just be behind the scenes and open a record label. Like they have dreams to do like all kinds of things. So it was kind of cool. I was there for about 2 years. And then when the opportunity presented itself, after I left that group, there was opportunity. I did a remix to Ole Cool, which happened, oh my God, what was that, like 2012? And somehow Chalk City in Nigeria saw it, and then I ended up signing with them for 5 years, and then I've been independent since 2018. My first single as an independent artist was China Love. So and
it basically traversed. Oh my goodness.
It was honestly a surprise. I didn't expect it. I didn't know how the reaction was going to be, but yeah, I mean, I was thrilled. I was thrilled, I was happy.
Absolutely, and you've collaborated with some of the biggest artists all across the continent. I believe that's quite a huge privilege to meet so many different people, from Diamond, Omi Dimpos, to collaborating with Bella Shmada on your most recent album, Yemi Alade, and all of these people. Who can you say is your favorite? Which studio session really hit hard?
Oh, that is a good question. Which was my favorite? Oh my God. That is such a hard question because most of them
let's talk about the studio session. Which one was such a vibe?
Ooh. That's hard. Oh my God, it's hard for me to kind of remember everything at the drop of a dime. But and most of my collaborations, actually, we were not even in the same studio.
For real?
Yeah, most of the time we email each other stuff. And so even with the collaboration with Yemi, I think I emailed her the track. But no, actually, she did her verse while we were together, and I did my verse separately. That was cool. That was a vibe. I think we had left a party and then went straight to the studio. And I don't know, something like that, something weird like that. But honestly, like the one that I did with Diamond and Omi, I would say that one had like the most drama.
What was that?
Girl, it was crazy. I can't. I'm trying to find a way to summarize. It was just some drama in the studio that day, you know. As a female artist, like people have all kinds of assumptions.
That's true.
They don't know why you're there, what you're doing. And so I'll just say he had some girl drama that had nothing to do with me.
Oh my God.
Had nothing to do with me. I'm like, yo, I'm just here to make my music and go. And there was some big fight. And the next day it was some things in the blogs. And honestly, that was probably, I'd say, the craziest studio experience. That was the craziest. I wouldn't say the vibe was like bad, but it wasn't the best at the same time. So yeah,
it's quite shocking because now when you look at the song is quite a banger, and everybody loves the chemistry that came out of the music video that we got to see.
Oh my god!
But we never really know what goes on.
People have no idea. Even the video shoot is a whole other story. We'll save that for another day, or maybe off camera. I'll tell you. That was so crazy. So yeah, I honestly sometimes I look back, I'm like, how was I even able to endure the things? But it has to just be God. Like I always talk about God, because I'm like, it's the only way I would have been able to accomplish a lot of the things I accomplished and like not go crazy for real. Like it's crazy. It's rough.
I think you're the least problematic artist we have in Kenya. You have no scandals, no drama, unless people create it.
Unless they start it. Look, I honestly, I don't like drama, and a lot of people have told me, like, you know, you need to probably start some scandals so people can talk about you.
And you actually talked about that 2 months ago in Tanzania when you had your interview, and they were asking you about what they call kiki and like showbiz and everything, and you spoke about 2 particular artists. You didn't want to mention them, who weren't so nice when you were looking for people to collaborate with in Tanzania, and then people are like, you know, ego and everything, and I would compare that situation to your situation with the late AKA, may his soul rest in peace. You spoke about DMing him on Twitter, and he actually just showed up. How would you compare those situations, whereby on one side you meet artists who are so egocentric, they don't want to collaborate with you, and on this other side, someone like AKA can come to your music shoot and just, you know, do the thing without expecting anything in return?
Yeah, honestly, that's how it should be. It should be effortless. If there's chemistry musically, it should be effortless. It shouldn't be so much drama and so much ego. But literally, man, rest in peace, AKA, the most humble guy ever. Like, I sent him a DM when I was already in South Africa, and I said, hey, can you be in my video, you know, like as my love interest? And he was like, yeah, I've been waiting for you to slide in my DM. I'll pull up. Yeah, I was like, ooh, okay, whatever. But he showed up. He had his crew. His hair was done. His styling was on point. And yeah, we shot the show video. And yeah, that was a beautiful memory. And then if you fast forward to some of the times I've tried to do collaborations with other artists, it's not only artists from Tanzania, but yeah, there are a few it's been weird. I think that there's a false sense of importance that people have, and people forget that we're supposed to work together. Today I could be up and you could be down. To the next day, you know, you could be down and I could be up. You never know. At the end of the day, we need to work together. That's how we build a system. And honestly, when I look at those artists now, I don't really see where like they're that much more popping, you know, but it's ego. Ego is like the enemy. I think ego is the enemy. Be humble. You'll last a lot longer when you're humble. And you'll actually have a more healthy ecosystem. Like East African music can be way further if we collaborate more. But yeah, I just think when people think they're better, I don't know. That's sad. It's sad energy, and they never last. People like that never last.
That's so true. Now, as we finish up, you have a project that I absolutely love, because I believe every single person has a spirit animal. Your spirit animal is a zebra. That's your 4th studio album. The graphic, the visuals were absolutely amazing. Collaborations, Had the Band, Yemi Alade, Bella Shmurda. Absolutely love it. Now, tell us, why exactly a zebra? What are some of the virtues that a zebra has that made you
know what?
Spirit animal?
First of all, it's my favorite animal, but just because it's so beautiful. Like, I mean, it looks like it should be a horse, but it's not. You know, I love black and white. I love the color. You even have black and white on today. I love black and white. But some of the attributes of the zebra are like just the way it survives in nature, the way they're able to camouflage, the way they're able to keep going. They have a lot of tenacity. They don't give up easy. When the baby zebra is born, it's born running. Like literally, as soon as they give birth, it's a few seconds and then he's already taking off. And so I think that's just special. And there's a long list of attributes that I love about the zebra. I can't remember all from the top of my head, but I was like, yeah, this is an animal. If everyone has the animal that they kind of like identify with or that they feel drawn to. So yeah, what's your spirit animal?
The lion.
The lion.
The lion. Woo! It's assertive, and I believe this is an album that speaks to a lot of people. We can't wait for your 5th studio album. You've taught yourself how to record for yourself. We can't wait. But of course, we have diehard fans right there. My co-hosts are seriously gonna kill me if they don't get to talk to you.
That is really interesting. So first of all, I can see guys flooding my DMs saying that they love Victoria. Let's say hi to Vicky. We have Obera watching from home. She's like, man, please say hi to Vicky. We've loved her throughout the years. And also we have Nelly as well, who says, Akisalimieni Vicky sana. I love her so much. So now looking at this Vicky, my question to you will be, what should the young girl right now, the Gen Z right now, see from Vicky at this particular one? Because you've done music, you've done collabos and everything, but what's the one thing you'd like for them to take out from you at this particular time in your journey?
That's a great question. I think what I would want younger girls or boys to know is, you know, life is not going to be easy. People are not going to hand things to you. They're not going to give you permission to be a success. You have to take it by force. You have to just know that at the end of the day, you're the person who's driving the boat. You're driving your own life. Don't wait for people to do things for you. And just have confidence in yourself, because in life, people are going to constantly be saying, oh, this isn't good enough. You don't need to look like this. Don't dress like this. Speak this language. But embrace who you are and your individuality. That's what I want to say. Honestly, like, just stick to that, and trust me, you'll go so far. Because I feel like the older you get, like through life, people take things away from you. Like, oh no, you shouldn't wear this. You shouldn't be like this. And it's like, but that's how God made me, you know? So lean into that, keep God first, and just be original.
All right.
Be confident.
Thank you so much, Vicky. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. We definitely appreciate you. We're going to be vibing to all the songs in the brand new album. And when you release the 5th studio album, we'll still be vibing and jamming to every single song. We appreciate your time. And right about now, we're going to toss it over back to DJ Rick Moore. Atupeleka na mziki kidogo. We've got to vibe, man. Twende kwao.
Rick Moore.